Um, I can't share any images at the moment, but I think you're just dealing with what characters you already have, anyways, because there's no new people or anything. And I also know there's not going to be any encounters because right now it's just mostly just interactions with what you're gonna do,
Yeah.
and a lot of story, a lot of interactions building, and then see what happens in between. Because right now it's just generally building a road to somewhere is going to be, and you're going to eventually get a message that you might be sharing half of the country might be given to you because you're the only one that fucking stayed.
Well, they didn't go running off
Remember,
somewhere, but also.
remember the only other leader person they have it was the guy who bought the land from when before they moved.
Oh yeah, I forgot what his name was. It's
Reuben.
Ruben. Yeah.
Yes, so there's only three of you. The king himself, Reuben. And if you think about it, there's only three officials that are classified as this big fucking piece of large country. Like, I has a problem. Hmm. Why did they? Okay, fine. I don't care. If you get the joke.
Mm-hmm.
They left. About half of my kingdom left. Down into the freaking savannah down there. Yeah, that's where they went. They went to the savannah. That's further on down. Below you. Unintentionally, she's like, Gilbo is below you. Is where are at, actually. So they're below the equator. You're kind of above it,
Mm.
which is funny. So yay. They're dealing with slightly more drier seasons. You're dealing with slightly more wet related seasons. Hmm. Does that sound interesting? Hmm.
Okay.
They have each have
All
their
right. Yeah.
benefits because
So I guess the equator would be directly through most of it. Like, let me see. I guess you don't have my map, the map up for you, where you have me on.
I wait. I kind of I thought I had you where you're supposed to be, but
No,
I
you do have
moved
me
you
where I'm supposed to
accidentally.
be. You do have me where I'm supposed to be.
It's just I don't have any newer map. I'm gonna eventually make a new map. It's just haven't been motivated to doodle with my new art tablet.
Yeah. So
I might actually just make a
the
map.
equator
Just
basically
yeah.
goes directly through the Ernest Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should call it the Bay of Ernest.
Uh-huh.
It goes like basically. I don't have it up, but
Pinging Lugduff. He doesn't forget that we had our D&D exactly at 7. That's his own fault.
yeah, that's basically the equator right
And also, I'm
there.
sorry if I haven't been doing anything for quite a while, just because I was dealing with. I don't. I needed a brain break from everything.
Yeah.
But now I need to return home because my body's hurting from laying on a bed that isn't very supported for my back.
So I'll try to put that in on my map here somewhere, the equator.
Eventually, but also eventually, I think you'll might have more land. I do know where you're going to wind up having up to a certain point, but you do have the
Mhm.
old map, right? I gave
The
you.
the big map of the world map.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do have that.
yeah. I'll would I get have my full function in the computer? I would explain what you'll end up getting after you get the messenger, dude.
All
Even
right.
though
So
Ernest already
like,
has a good idea
because
what's going on.
he Alrix is gonna want, Oka as independent, but I guess who would have the other lands as um like an additional title, um like how before United Kingdom there was Scotland and England as separate countries, but yet they had the same ruler type situation.
Generally,
Separate governments, but same ruler.
generally the situation at the moment. So generally right now, because they only have three, generally classified three individuals that are classified as actual leaders,
Mhm.
other than the one that you have, other than their quote unquote hi.
Hi, who?
Me.
You know, we're kind of doing our one thing, right? Even though I don't have Lovejoy, because Lovejoy, for some reason, isn't available. If he forgot they were supposed to be doing something at 7, it's his own problem.
No. I'm just here to hang out. I'm not really here to do
That's fine.
much else.
That's fine.
Unless you do need me.
Yeah,
So
because
I'll just be here. I'll just listen in quietly.
I'll let you know,
It's like,
Catbox. I eventually might need him for NPCs. Eventually.
All right.
So that's the only thing that he's here for.
That's fine, if it gives some variety for voices.
Yep, that's what generally he's for. There's quite a few NPCs that eventually, for example, the incident when we get a certain a character from certain series of anime.
are
Anyways,
you talking about me, perchance?
Wilhelm?
The Prince of Old Scene.
That sounds like Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm von
I
Estrella.
mean, I haven't had anything to drink. I haven't warmed up or anything, but yeah.
It's fine, but not right now. But it is different characters from different. Right now, remember the character that's supposed to quote unquote do something. We already know who that is. It's eventually supposed to do something after a certain point. It's Mr. Boo, but he's not available right now because he's not awake. So we still have like 30ish years before he comes as quote unquote. I get the first time existing.
Mm-hmm.
So that hasn't happened yet. That's fine. We have 30ish years before we have to worry about that chaos. And I think we're also further away before he comes into the North region. So we're even further away from the chaos. I just realized right now.
Yeah, I'll have Mr. Boo, Mr. Beers. I need
Yeah,
my
right now.
pudding cup. Mm.
Mm. Mm. Anyways. So the another person that was supposed to be here, I guess I don't know what he's doing. He said he was going to be here, but he's not here. Which is an individual that I refer to Kasune because I keep on forgetting how to pronounce their freaking name.
Aria.
Aria.
All right.
Oh, that's
So
funny, because don't I have a Kitsune character? What's her fucking name?
They're not Kasune, they're just a fox arc individual. Anyways, but this
Oh yeah, true.
what happened last time?
last time on.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Wait.
You're welcome.
Well, I do know quite a few things happened to you guys, or doing pretty much civilization building simulator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wrong.
No.
And I do know some moved to one of the a group of individuals moved to a savannah area, and there's a road being built to go to that location. That's one of the major things that's going on in the background, and you're just busy just building up stuff till you get to a point where you got a proper story point.
Yeah, and
Is there a story
then
for there?
I think one of the last things that happens, we skipped ahead another week, but I don't think anything happened after that.
I think I got tired. That's why.
Yeah, Alex got paid a visit by Jackie.
Or it's one of the person that's actually taking up Aegilus's job because
Yeah.
Aegelus is not there anymore.
So last time, Alex founded the village of Socks, and then skipped ahead a week, and then Jackie visited, and then we skipped ahead another week. At least
So
that's what
then we got
happened. At least
visited.
is what happened with Alex. I'm not keeping track of what the other guys are doing. I'm just keeping track of Alex's calendar.
Also, Rock was had to be relocated, so they didn't get smacked by it.
Mm-hmm.
There was pretty much, yes, Mother Nature tried to kill them. Instead of, hey, out of all the shit that was trying to kill them, at least a natural event tried to fucking kill them this time.
Alex also had, at least on the first day of New Year's, sent a couple of people to set up I guess a checkpoint at a certain location.
Yeah.
So if any
So too,
messengers come through, I suspect that's where they would come from, because they'll be coming across from the northern side of the coast, right?
Also, yeah, and they also made a comment that location where he sent them also has a massive berry patch in it.
Yeah. Which they did set up a farm at. Up in that, like, little river area.
On the other side of the hills. There's
just
this
on the
massive
right
area
side of the
berries.
hills. Or I guess mountains. They're not like mountains in the traditional sense. They're like mountains in the Appalachia sense.
Yeah.
Because these are supposed to be old mountains. They'll be like older than the trees type mountains. Almost heaven. Inosuka.
Okay.
Life is older.
Going on that.
Older than the tree.
And generally, a lot of the stuff around, and also there is a lot of, and they also learned that they have a lot of tropical fruit in this area, such as the familiar banana custard fruits everywhere. So they have a lot of fruit, tropical fruit in that area, and fruit in general. Hey, at least you have a lot of fruit. At least you'll have a lot of bananas to shove into people's faces for profit once you have currency again. Bananas! I think you'll have. Hey, I'll actually have a banana empire. Wait. Banana! Potentially. And berries. I think something else also grows in that area, but you haven't gotten to the location and found them yet.
Oh my goodness.
Because there's yes, you have it's another fruit too. They actually grow in that region too.
Thanks,
found
Nia,
that area,
for
but
those images.
it's I think it's the one that's closer to the opposite coastline you're in. They're along that direction. There's another area of massive bushes that contains the fruit you guys grown before back in Torridale?
Mm-hmm.
That are known as Hera fruit. Yes, you have a large area that has nothing but those fruits in it.
So I think.
So you have an area that. Yeah, you kind of have the fruit empire unintentionally. You're totally not dull. Wait. I have to make that joke because it's funny.
I think one of the.
You know what company I'm referring.
What?
You know the company that's called Dole, you know, DELE?
Yeah, Dole.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have a lot of weird unique fruit that seem to be in that area. Because there's like, also there is something else in that area, but you have to find it along one of the old cave areas. You might find a certain material, but they did found a blob of the certain metal. But you do know what it is because it does exist back where you guys came from. But it's the dominant material instead. You did find iron. Your guys' equivalent of iron. They just found a boulder of it. In other words, you're in an area where it has equivalent of iron deposits, which is loganite, which is a white metal that reacts like like metals that like how something a ring reacts to temperature.
Mm-hmm.
That's what loganite does, but it turns pinker. But once it turns into steel, it becomes a deep, dark salmon pink color. But it's just like steel. So it's not a crappy material, it just looks really weird. So it's not a garbage metal, it's just not. It's pretty much a very good start-off material to have for something. And then I think the other stuff you've been finding in the area, but it's not very common, I think you may have found the equivalent of silver, which is called lupinite, and that's about it. Like a small blob of it.
Alarix will.
That area. Because remember, in that area, there you have individuals scouting around, gathering random crap on the ground, and then bring it back into a pile, if you remember. You know, the ore pile.
Alarix
Most
will,
of it contains.
I guess, approach Socks, see how they're doing.
Fine, they're safely inside. So you're kind of making. So you're just generally have a termite colony, jokingly enough.
Yeah, so he's gonna check up and make sure that they're all right. You know, they're. How big has the city gotten at this point? Probably not that big, but or I guess it's more of a town still, but.
But it's not a small town. It's not that little village it originally started at. Because of the industrialness of the relative dealing with something that's equivalent to fucking ants, you realize how fast that actually have grown.
Yeah, at this point, it's like more like a town, I guess.
Like at the point it would be from a small little village it was, it's more likely grown to a large town within that period of time. Because remember, Podling Spears don't sleep. Only the Archids that reside there do. And most of the ones you have there are mostly the Fox individuals. If you remember. That's what you have, and also whoever that moved over where you were. Which I think it was a mix of that stuff. I think I can't remember. She's somewhere, but I don't remember where she.
Who?
I can't remember. Your servants are somewhere, but I think they're somewhere around. But I think some of them are with wherever your brother is. But she's still on a random island out in the middle of nowhere with a slight problem. But the individuals that have that issues, but comically they're still out in the middle of nowhere by themselves. But he somehow required a servant, the other half of the servants that you do not have.
I mean, Alarix has basically only Scooby, Velma, and then Nazetta.
Yeah. and someone has the other ones.
Yeah, someone has the
Unfortunately.
other three of the gang.
Oh, as well as the a Duke, Fred. Still on the island out in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is, I think, but still.
Socks.
So, yes.
I know that you probably wouldn't want this, but I'm gonna offer you to take a sort of Duke role or Count role, I guess.
Yeah, I'm busy talking to somebody. Oh, 1 second. Where did it go? Second.
I have a picture of Socks, do I?
I think I have the pictures, but I have to go look for them in my stuff
Yeah.
because this is one of the socks, but I remember the Sox family along with their Pacific and another, but I think I don't remember I send them directly to you or put them in that channel.
I don't think they were sent directly to.
Unless they were eaten by the random garbage. That's why I made a separate server for NPCs all separated already before, but I've been not wanting to move them over there.
Anyways, so you wouldn't be opposed to taking on a role such as that?
Mine, where is it? I don't think they're in here.
Yeah, right
I think
here.
they send them
EO
directly to you.
Socks, right?
I think that, let me look at them for a second. Which one's your channel again? Is it 2?
It's player 2, yeah.
Let me do it. Or it's Westland. Remember it's the king's brother.
Yeah.
The one with the circle bracket is the one they're talking about. Or it's Westland. Yeah, he's like, I don't mind doing that. Because more
Okay.
likely have to, because they kind of feel that we
Yeah.
might have a lack of individuals being entered still. But I can't move at the moment still.
Yes, well, it's not right now, just when you're more physically able, but I am gonna name the region, New Ravenna. Or, no, New Rave.
And let's see. I just hope they can get the rumor has it the messenger over here, which I think your character already knows about that as well.
Probably not, I don't know.
No, we actually were told about that by casually Ernest and the Divine, because they have a good idea that they're going to have send someone over eventually to check on things for easier transfer information between each other. They keep tabs. If something goes wrong, support. Mostly. Because people don't understand that he isn't a bad person. And his family is actually really nice individuals. His people, but he's not nice. Well, he'll push. Never nice, but he will assist if needed. Because you never know. You are in an area. They are an area where you could get slapped aggressively by a hurricane, if you know what I mean out of character.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't mind. I was just wondering Um, I don't. I just hope nothing goes wrong when they're getting a envoy coming over to us. Anyways, because we kind of would need that information for how they're doing.
Yes.
Is I don't care what anyone else is, as long as my brother's fine. He doesn't care what anyone else is doing. Quote unquote, he doesn't care what Gilmo's doing.
Hey, speaking of brothers, I don't know what my brother's doing.
Hmm.
He should
Where's
be
it
fine. I'm
go?
sure you'll send somewhere
Where's-
safe. By the
He'll
way,
laugh if he's on an island somewhere. Or just casually just says mentally.
no, no, no.
I hope he,
Surely he was placed somewhere
I bet-
safe.
or he was giving them some resources and maybe some servants and maybe some other things, but not we're back home because more likely your father might think he's dead.
Oh.
There's a theory. Maybe I know he's alive because I know he's alive because that's just me. Or that's what Ernest says.
All right.
But it's kind of hard to do anything weird. He does not want to talk to you. Anyways. Hard if he does not want to talk to you. You know that line.
Hmm.
Anyways. So, it's not really our problem. The only reason why it would be our problem is because of the Fessians themselves, because I care about that individual. That's important. Only. Anyways, also let me do some calculations. Yeah, from what I sense, they do have resources, but that's about enough resources to either leave to go somewhere to build a boat to leave, or something else if they want to actually do something there. Because that actually is a no man's land where they are. There was an area that doesn't belong to anybody.
Well, there's a lot of that now.
Yeah. So they have a choice to stay, or he could go back where they are, where quote unquote his father is, and also he does have knowledge where you are if he actually cares.
My brother?
Yes. But your father doesn't. It's mostly for that, but he because to know where the other serpents are.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's where the other three are. If you're wondering.
All right. Interesting.
But they do have enough let you know they have enough resources to survive there for about maybe exactly a month for all of them that are there. So
All
generally
right.
that's what that's plot related to that resources there. And they have also, like I said, they have enough resources to build a boat. And also knowledge on how to, and also information on how to build said boat or structures in general. Yes, they actually have a kit on how to build build a area if they need to, and they also given resources. But since it's choice to either, like I said, because since they have a Fessian young lord over there, they are more likely going to claim that as a Fessian area, not a Arcadian one, because it's closer to the Fessians. Because it is closer to them than it is to Arcadia. as in New Arcadia. So that's the actually related to his choice. And also, I think his friend is the only reason why he's still alive.
Also, did you see what I sent you a few weeks ago? I think on Alrix's family at this
Oh, do you
current
mean?
time.
Let me look at it.
I guess like the whole, I guess the faction rivalry in his family now.
You kind of did it, but I don't think you gave me the image properly.
So like Alrix's mother's side is that side of that side of the family in that house of Cheska has taken this opportunity to found their own kingdom, found their own independent kingdom. And Alrix's father is basically doing the same thing Alrix is doing, trying to like fast track a civilization, try to get the company back up as quick as possible. And probably inadvertently creating a republic as well.
Know
As
what your brother would do because he does have resources, but
yeah,
he's closer to somewhere else. So he could do his
Alrix's
own thing.
Alrix's father probably would have a lot more respect in town. His family had a lot of respect in the town they were from. And if that entire town was teleported together, moved over together, then they would probably be much more interested in following whatever his dad is saying versus any other person that was actually in charge of the area. And they're all like, "Oh, why don't you become ruler?" And he's like, "I'm not very interested in it." So they just vote him in charge anyways.
What happened in them, but well, as in Ellers's brother, he has a lot more interesting freedoms of what he wants to do in the situation. At least the situation he went through built a lot of character to him, though,
I
from what happened.
I also think it'd be funny if Alrix's uncle is also on the same island. Like this is where he ended up all this time.
Eventually, along with that one lady that he met.
Yeah, so he's just like walking down the
Lorelei.
beach, you know, Alrix's
And
brother's
he
just
finds what's his face.
yeah, he's just walking down the beach like dehydrated and hungry, turns his head and then just sees his uncle just laying in a hammock having like a pina colada with like a giant tree house
Along
behind
with,
him.
I guess, his new like,
And he's like, "Oh,
with
hello."
I guess it would be classified unintentional life.
Yeah, his
Unintentional life.
there he is with his
At
new
this
wife
point.
and then Alrix's cousins are there too, his new cousins.
Because I think I know what that individual is you're actually with, and I thought they weren't a. I think they were the person you found wasn't a Thessia. They were a puppet as well. So, but they were also a variant that looked dog,
Look dog enough.
which they yeah, except they were a based off of the ever heard, you remember that dog breed that looks like a golden retriever, except they have white fur and they're much bigger.
Maybe.
Uh, great Anthony's
The
or what it's
great
called,
hmm.
Pyrenees or whatever they're called. The Great Pyrenees, you know the Great Pyrenees, you know those guys, those big dogs. Generally have that fur coat, so they're she's it is what it is. So you have that individual. You're just like find that like sip. But Podling Spears could easily take over a location very quickly.
Yeah, I just imagine it's like a few months. Like a few months into them being there on the island. And he just sees them there, is like, huh?
podling spheres are good at surviving without nothing, and so are if Epiphian has that have the instinctual abilities to do so, but they have to have the skills taught to them. Sadly, they're both of them were kind of noble children, so they don't have that.
Well, yeah, Alrix. I mean, not
So
Alrix. His
that's a
uncle
thing.
and Lewin.
So anyone that has, yeah, but he had that someone that podling spheres, cultural wise, you actually have to have survival skills just in case if you wound up out in the wilderness. So meeting her was maybe a kind of was a blessing for what a certain your good character, your our versus uncle, unintentionally,
A blessing,
because they're
yeah.
natural, they're natural. So
Or well, I guess if that's, that's, I guess he's gonna be done talking to Stocks, and then just, I guess, go about to the rest of his day. For the time being, might, Zeta came with him, right? Zeta was able to, was teleported here, right? For sure. Remember
the two,
saying that.
same with the two others,
Yeah.
as well as your obviously your certain servant as well. I think Bella's there somewhere
Somewhere.
doing things, but that's about it. More likely organizing shit because when you're busy doing other things.
Yes, I guess, he's also gonna, like, look at the map as well, trying to find spots, mapping out things. One thing you probably will do as well is send some people over further down the range to set up a
And also,
mining town.
as well as see what's on the other side of the hill as well.
He already
It's
sent
closer
people.
to the
He
more
already sent
opposite,
some people over there, other side of the hill there,
as well as
and
the whole near around the whole entire coastal area as well.
yeah,
So you would also would have found the hair. In other words, you would have found the Hereford.
he's gonna send some people along the bay, and I guess that's as far as he'll take it for now. Sends people down to the mouth of the river to do some surveying because he plans to put the capital there, put a planned capital there. And then, guess
It seems to be moving smoothly.
guess we'll skip ahead a few days. I don't know, just have that be.
I'm also was gonna do another time skip anyways, generally,
Yeah.
because I was saying that after that, because only events will happen if natural events occur. Is that's why I'm just doing a natural roll event things, and so you're not having a celestial event, but you're having a different one. You're
Alright.
having a natural event, but it's not big enough to cause a problem, but it's big enough for you to notice it.
Alright.
It's not enough. It's enough for you. I was like, die on cake. Don't mind me. Anyways, the it's very very subtle. There might have been a very small natural earthquake in the area, and that's about it.
Oh, cool. Earthquakes. I love those things.
And also maybe in the difference, because you're also in the area where the mountains are sloping. So in the dark distance, you would have saw some rocks fall off the side of the mountain or over in the distance.
Hmm.
And that's about it. Lucky you don't have anyone over there. That line.
How many days we go forward there?
And that'll happen about the 5th day
Fifth
of the
day?
week. Yeah,
Of-
that's when
of
that
ne- of
that
next
small
week
earthquake
or
and
this
the-
week?
of this week.
Okay, so the next
That's
day.
what he would actually. That's what happened.
So it happened the
Yeah,
next
the
day.
next day.
Cool. It's like, well,
Where I guess Mother Nature wants to rumble a little bit. Anyways, that's completely plausible. Anyways, Ernest makes that joke about it. Anyways, is all the things that could go wrong. That's barely a poke on the finger compared to things that what we have dealt with for the last several months.
well, you know,
This cash disaster.
I guess yes.
If you think about that, I wonder if those rocks have any minerals in it. Once it's stable over there.
Well, that's something. Maybe.
When we're not going to risk of having someone getting pancaked by a giant boulder.
No, that would
Anyways,
not be fun.
actually, I see something black and shiny.
Looking shiny. Where?
He gives him here. He just gives him a little, those little small hand telescope things.
Mhm.
It points it out. There's this little black sheen. You know Rosa, right? Where it comes in different colors.
Yeah.
Which most and everybody knows what that is. He just sees there's a black sheen of this. That's what was under that rock over there. It was some Rosa, right? On that side of that mountain up there.
And that's useful, right?
That stuff popped up. Yes, it is. But we just need to have a certain type of key to be able to actually process it. In other words, we need to find time. Which I think, don't we have some?
Find what?
Antimentine, the stuff that's above mithril.
Hmm. Do we have any?
To make into a rune. I think so. Do we have any? He was like, we have enough to make a forge, like one.
Well, then that's good
That's
there.
enough. Okay, then. But do you want to try to poke at a mountain? Make sure you do safety gear to not. The rose, right?
Poke at a mountain.
It's remember, because it's just in a certain. It's just on the very edge of their territory where it starts to be more mountainy. That's where it is.
Oh, that's,
But you can
that's pretty
see
far
it
away.
because it's but it's this giant sheen of this black on a gray that kind of glints in the sunlight.
I guess I can send some people over there to get it.
Lucky it's not heavy.
I guess he'll
That we kind of
send some people over there to try to get it.
or in. Make sure you get in be very careful because it likes to be a little crumbly.
Yes, tell them that.
'Cause that would be a big upgrade to everything. Actually, if we wanted to make magic runes and that stuff, that won't explode if you overload them.
Have things been exploding?
Well, no, this is people are underbolting things so they don't overload the runes. Because they're only able to make runes with the mage crystal. That's why we have lighting. Points of the lights above them. That's around the town.
Hmm.
Yes, they installed lights already. That's why that's not. That's why he maybe doesn't realize it's maybe nighttime. But there's like street lights. Yeah, they installed street lights already. Yes, the policy was like, screw this. We're just going straight to our magic tech stuff because we can. Yes, he's there. Yes, I know they're just building, and more likely, I think someone made an agreement that they're like, you don't mind us using our magic tech stuff, right? I wonder if he had that conversation with people, with the ones that are there. Is it makes it more efficient that way, and all of it's like later, but they do have a limit to it though. As the stuff is strong as adamantine, but you need adamantine runes to actually process roserite. A forge rune. But you also just need one of them. So you can make a roserite rune to forge more roserite. And that's about it. Since once they do, they'll be able to make and reinforce everything a little bit more easier. And also they'll be able to armor more stuff a little bit easier. That's what they're just referring to. So it won't take them very long to get there. It's just gonna, at least they know where it is, so they're more likely gonna make a checkpoint on the halfway point to a few checkpoints along the way.
Towards the roserite?
Location. Yeah, towards the roserite. First safety points, if you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to, because it's kind of just on the very edge of your area.
They probably would also have to go through the swamp as well.
Yeah.
Which, that's going to be fun, trekking through the forest, and then the swamp. There's actually also probably a swamp forest before getting to the open swamp.
Yeah, because, like I said, or the mangrove.
Yeah, the mangrove. Mangrove, I think's on right before the desert.
So that's going to be the fun part there. Just go to that chunk of metal that's up there. At least even though at least that little tiny earthquake kind of gave you a blessing on attention, but also made people where they have to go through somewhere that they have to make a whole bunch of halfway points. Which it's a far enough locations where there's enough locations between there where there could be two towns in between from there to where they are, as well as a town at the mountain. If you get the joke.
Mm-hmm.
At least you know where they could have their mining location. But even funnier, they could also put something up on that mountain. It matters how much roserite's up there. Because roserite's pretty sturdy. Because it's one of the strongest materials. The only thing that's stronger than it is something called limos. Which is a material that looks like glass, but it isn't glass. But it's kind of a rare metal. And then there's the stuff that can only be found underground, which is the stuff referred as timeline, which sometimes can be mistaken as gravel. Catbox, if you wanted to know,
Hmm.
because that's how it forms. It forms like gravel, but the gravel, there's a difference between to it because one has a more metallic sheen. Normal gravel does not have that.
Yeah, so I guess now Alrux is
So,
just going to wait for either them to come back with the Roserite or for the letter to come in.
some other random chick, the letter or the dude.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be about the time the end of the week is when you get something. Interesting. Yeah, but yeah, about the end of the week you would actually require the letter, even though it looks like the letter went through hell.
Bloody hell,
But
what
you got the letter.
happened? What happened to you, my poor
Looks like
fellow?
someone. Not them, but the letter itself. Looks like it went through hell. Looks like something chewed on it.
Did it go through the belly of a Devil Joe? Or did you get a little hungry on the way over?
No, from the looks of it, the guy looks like he got attacked by, Gaggy. You know those one, like, reptile thingies that are about knee-high, about, like 3 feet tall?
Maybe.
Yeah, he got kind of, like, ambushed by a small group of them.
Fantastic.
And they stole the letter from it. That's why there's a bite mark in the corner.
Is that why it took a little longer to get here?
Yeah. But it is from the king.
Right. I guess he's going to open it up and see what it says.
It's just related to information that you have, what areas he will have, because since he calculated that there's only himself, Reuben, and well, he's referring to himself, Alaric and Reuben are the only authority figures, other than obviously his brother, that are in the area. That are officially actually classified as leader material. Because certain people left.
I wonder who that was.
Referring whoever that was referring that the quote unquote more recent Duchess may have left and went somewhere to be independent.
I wonder who the recent Duchess was.
So but otherwise,
yeah, Alex is just gonna be like kind of like dumb, and it's like I don't know who he could be referring to.
But doesn't say who it was, but they just because he doesn't. Sounds like he doesn't care because he doesn't give the name. Now, like he just said, he gives like a map. I don't have the map right now, but you know that I think I could try to get the map, but it might take me a minute. Very difficult to click things without a mouse.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I do.
Okay, login. Also, I can't drag you. That's the thing. But do you have the picture?
Of the world?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, then I can explain it that way. Why did you drag? Motherfucker! Not you. I hate you already. The passion. Okay, I'm fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know, uh, actually, I'm gonna attempt to move you to this map. I'm not tempting it, because that sounds like a struggle. Actually, I have a better idea. I'm just gonna temporarily unplug my heads. Where's my? Where's my legs off after? Where did I put it? No. Where? Oh, there it is. Excuse me for a minute. Since I'm not using it to listen to music right now, I'm just gonna plug this in here. Come on. Kitty dot struggling. Okay. Not. Oh, can you not? Oh, thank you. Okay. I just temporarily plug my headphones on my laptop. As I actually can't. Oh, I can't unplug my tablet because it'll ruin it. Okay, let's see. Your arm. So, if I think about it, so what do you have on your map so far altogether again? Go back to
So on. Okay. Oh, there we go. So what I have is basically not the expanded one. I have basically. Oh shoot. Well, I need to get rid of that. Nope. There we go. Okay. Have
half.
I need to zoom in more. Basically, up until shoot.
Can you grab?
Shoot.
Can you get the? Can you use the other tool?
The rectangle one?
No,
No.
the one that lets you choose. No, not that one.
This one?
The one that lets you choose makes free line tool. That one. No, not that one. There's another tool.
Line?
Oh, the. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That one is how I actually did it. So.
So, like, there. Further down, and then.
Color for me. Temporarily for something.
basically something like that.
It's generally the area.
Generally,
Let you
yeah.
know.
Basically, just up until that river ends there is what I have on the
Why are you
actual map.
Why are you using the wrong tool? Not you. Wait a I can't. There's the purple. You temporarily removed I used the wrong shade of purple. It goes in color. That color. Yeah. Trying to make it a different color. There, that's not good enough to be
Stop,
different.
cat, bad.
But you see where if you see that green area,
Yeah.
that's the thing he's giving you.
All right, and Alex is also taking that basically.
Yeah, he's taking this little. You're taking this little subsection down here.
Yeah, that too.
But you are taking this little area. Generally,
Mm-hmm.
if you
And
know what I mean.
yeah, and I guess oh shoot, well,
Or generally.
yeah, that, and then I guess
Generally. So generally that area is
I
what you
guess
would be requiring.
this area would be a part of Bestia, wherever it's called, right? Paldia. No,
Huh?
Paldia was something else. Bestia, this, I guess.
Where?
This blue
What?
area up here.
No.
No?
That pale blue area. What direction? No, that darker color right there. That whole entire area is podling sphere stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their stuff.
Yeah.
But the stuff above you is supposed to be generally the Arcadia stuff. But
Yeah.
even though the podling sphere, the Fessian thing, is that golden, yellow, orange section over there on the map.
Yeah, but Alrix is at least taking some sort of independence for the Inuoka area. And then I guess take a Duke role for the area along the coast past these rivers. Or ahead of these rivers. About right here, about around the rivers.
You also would have this sub.
Around.
Yeah, but you will also remember if you see that. Remember that whole green area. He's giving that to you.
Yeah, but he already took
that.
This area.
But
yeah.
remember, Pole is giving you that entire green area.
Yeah. But this area here is what he will run underneath the king. And this area over here, he wasn't going to kneel to the king for.
No, he was like, no, he was straighting up giving it to you. He didn't say that you were going to do king stuff. He just only thing he's doing is this requesting trade, and that's about all.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
the deal. You know,
no vassalage required.
taxes are
That's what it is. No
Just trade.
vassalage.
yes, just trade in
Okay.
peace. They can't go to war to each other.
Yeah, so
That's the
just
two things.
trade an alliance. He'll take that. So I guess for this area here, then I'm gonna make another map, and this will just be another.
You also have those. You also have little islands over there
Oh, these up here too.
that you
Okay.
have. Yeah, you know, everything that's in the green square is yours,
Well, he will
including these little
just
pinky,
for my OCD border gore. He'll take the islands, but probably leave this peninsula to him, or just take the peninsula like that. But I don't think Alrook that much interest in taking this peninsula here, unless there's something really valuable on this peninsula here. It's like if there's anything really valuable here, you might take.
But I'm gonna do some more cleaning up. Okay, you're gonna be a pain in the ass. I do know. Or to make it a slightly cleaner. Because that's one of the actual sub-provinces, like, areas are now.
Mhm.
And the person that's going to be residing on that border is where he is, specifically, the king.
The king.
And Reuben would be in charge of the section behind there.
All
So
right.
you're on the border of him. But he is planning on, if someone, since there's this stuff down here, he has ideas of something. Because he has plans, but he just, with things at the moment. But at the moment, he doesn't want to deal with dealing with that over there. Since he's already over there.
Mm.
He's like, man, he could just have it. You know that line.
Yeah, just you deal with it. You deal with the problem.
You could deal with the funny. Hey, you can have fun with the hurricanes. He doesn't say things
Okay,
like that
I
in
see
the
how it
message.
is now. I see what his plan here is now.
Get to have fun with the hurricane. Because he noticed, like, that looks like a place where we could hit by hurricanes a lot. Nah, he can have it. Also, since he's closer to the mountains, he could deal with that. He could have that over there. I can go poke at those over there. I guess I could just maybe ask these guys, the dwarves over here, for their shiny rocks instead.
I see how it is.
Yes, because they're closer. Yeah. Because, in other words, you have full dibs of taking over that mountain if you want to. That
Well, I
small
guess
blob
he's
of
taking
rocks
up
over there.
taking over the highest peak then.
Which is over, these areas. This little thing here.
Where would the
that little
tallest mountain in the
area that
world be?
I know where it is. They don't have it, but I know where it is. It's over here.
Oh, cool. So he can just claim dibs on that.
Really. Because it belongs to the Thethans. It's also the mountain that, actually, if you don't be careful, it can cause weird shit to happen.
Yeah, he might just claim dibs and like, know what? I'm taking the throat of the world.
I can't Reason why. Okay. Reason why I'm reading this is remember I kind of like half hop paused it together.
Mm.
It's like this. So we're just gonna leave your things there for now. Just like cleaning them up to make them look nicer. I guess I'll do it now. But there's purple. So I want to make this tighter. Chopping it because of there's reasons. Because if you remember, there's sub factions that because of the change.
Mm-hmm.
You actually might have a good idea what that secondary faction would be over there. What?
I'm also working on some sort of map for socks.
Real? Can you change the color? Motherfucker. 1 second. Excuse me, I have to redo that now. And why are purple?
Did you hear me?
Try this again. Yeah, I heard you.
Alright.
I don't care if that's good enough. Change the color to brown. That color. Good idea what faction that would be. It might be your father's faction. They have take over that section.
Up there.
But yeah.
Or at least probably half of it, and then the other half is the other family's faction. The other side of the family's faction.
No, really. I'm just making it as one. But I do know it's because they can't, if they're not strong enough to fight over the quote-unquote queen, they more likely had to be force integrated with the queen's faction.
Well,
if you don't.
Yeah.
If you know.
I know that at least, yeah, they wouldn't be, neither of them would be very interested in fighting the queen.
I know. But they haven't done anything, but the queen already managed to heavily set everything, but they managed to, that's much they managed to conjure good. But she let them have that, but if they try fighting each other and trying to take up, she was very quick. Just let you know that.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that
no,
is,
none
that
of them
is
be
how
very
far they
interested
got.
in fighting the queen,
Yeah.
but hostilities, not right now, not probably for at least a few generations, but hostilities would at some point rise between them. Not currently, though. It'd be more of begrudged peace on the one side.
It's a new Fessy Imperial. But I now need to finish with the rest of the Poppins area. But I'm gonna separate. I'm gonna make it that color. It's hard to see. Color. Then I'm gonna do something. And that's about it. And then there's another faction I need to change their bubble. It's this one. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's Gobo.
I'm just rearranging the their borders, don't mind me.
Yeah.
So they look a little nicer. You know what I mean? Catbox.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. And your color is going to be this one.
Hello there.
Like the color of that.
Okay. Hmm?
I think I might do that color. Oh, that color.
So, but that was so. What did I miss?
Nothing special, just border changes.
Border, and then
And I
Alaric's
need
giving a Duke title to one of his people that's with him.
Knowing Gilboy, she would have been like, she would have trusted,
And let's check out all the land changes since then, if you wanted to know. Catbox.
Did you do land changes? Let's see.
like the borders where they are,
Mhm.
which they where they would have control at. Even though there's not, we should have more. We should have more color options, but I don't. But
That way.
at least they don't look all half. At least they don't look half fudged.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Yes.
I need to do one more. One more, and that would be the blue. So you be aware what's down there. Real quote unquote Gilbo's little section, which is down there somewhere. And that's meanwhile.
That's all. That's all that
exciting happened
arrives
other
is
than
just the letter.
a letter and what he has access to. That it's classified as his, and what the rules related to him having it, and that's about it. And a
Alright.
note and a request that he agrees by it and a letter, or he was given a blank paper. This or a note on the bottom that is a yes or no.
It's like one of those notes from school. It's like, do you like me? Yes, no. It's like it just has like 2 check marks, like two boxes at the bottom. Yes, no. Well, checks yes.
And then I needed to deliver this back, and I guess he would have his signature on it too. Because
Yeah.
he gave him what's funny, he kind of gave him a piece of charcoal because that's all he has. It's still figuring out ink. And it works.
If it works, it works.
I could have gave you an ink pen, because I had one. Oh well. Looks more authentic with what we have.
Feels more official.
Don't worry, we'll get back to ink later.
I guess you'll also go back to planning out the city for the capital.
At least we know we have. At least we know that. At least we know that Mountain initially is free game. Anyways, with the
Indeed.
Brozerite in it.
Indeed.
Anyways, and from my knowledge, it seems to be doing fine. I see that they're working on it right now. In the distance, please point that out because you see the little. You can see the mining platform up there.
See that far away?
Kind of. They have the. If you,
Must be a big
I
mining
can't, but
platform.
you use this. Now I can see it, but if you use this, you will be able to see it. This, the
Hold on,
telescope.
let me go up to the top of Sock's building tower. Like I guess goes to the
Just
top
gives
of.
me-
I guess at this point Socks will have his more permanent structure out, so he'll go to the top of that to look.
And give him like a telescope. Like there's like a telescope up there too,
It's like,
so you can
oh,
look around.
stargazing
So
much,
has-
Ernest?
Hey, at least we can see something before it shows up. Anyways,
Yeah.
Also,
So
I mean, someone's also been. We're using that. If you're wondering what that other tower is, it's for weather reports.
weather reports. Okay.
Because remember, we are in a tropical region, so that could
Mhm.
get slapped by unpleasant weather.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, we might have possibly a chance of rain.
I know you love rain.
Well, which I think it's already kind of gonna be coming in. That's why it's a little windy. As in windy, it's like hecking windy.
Yes, you know,
That's why
Alex trying to hold on to his hat.
it's the hecking windy, man.
What's fun? It's fun, because you got what's going on in his end, and then someone's like, someone was just like, when's the just gonna be done? It was like, it's TBD, and they're like, what? The TB what? Like, to be determined. It's to be determined.
So I think we might be getting a dust storm.
Wow, a whole bunch of weather events all in one
What?
day.
Well, not like this points that out. Like we're coming from the south. Because remember you're in a drier region. Remember,
Yes.
Lovejoy.
Right.
Oh, time to go hang out inside.
What inside?
Unless you want sand in your butt crack. They actually have structures over there. Because enough time has gone by
Oh, okay.
to build structures over there.
Finally,
As well.
we have structure. Structures means we technically have civilization. Finally.
Yeah, but in the time of their let you know, I'm just passively saying that even though someone's not available, that they're still kind of doing things. By the time one more week would go by, he would be here, but he's not available because he's not in DC. And the road would be connected there, though.
I'm guessing he's busy today.
Thought he said he'll be here, but he seemed to not be here now. Oh well, that's okay. Just the I just remind myself that I just have to talk on my phone when I'm here, I guess. Because I don't have to worry about audio. That's generally what the Vengeance is this building. So you were a little slower where you guys are at, as in, yeah, where Gilbo and Dennis, they have a point, at least they have at least a small town at this point, where they are.
Fucking finally.
We also have a weather tower and a watch that also counts as the watchtower at the same time.
The only she's it's too bad that none of us species could remember fighting, because it'd be hilarious, and if a group came to try to invade the area, we'd see them with something that caused them to have uncontrollable flashlights.
We know that the barley grows just fine, but now lucky we have made greenhouses, so things can safely be stuck inside. That's the only reason, that's why things are taking longer, because they actually have to make protective structures to grow their crops. That's the problem. That's why things are slower.
Fine.
That's because they have to worry about the weather, because they have ruins that can protect them from droughts and that stuff. So they can just screw droughts. So you just have to put it in a protective structure. They also starting to make a road structure that might eventually lead to a different location. And you can stop trying to slap my feet.
Where's the fun in
Fuzzy
that?
fat rat. Anyways. I don't need my feet to be scratched. Alright, I need to open that stupid thing. Nothing. I was just. Okay. Anyways, like I said, not much is really going on other than time that needs to go by
Yeah. I
and
guess.
random and see what Mother Nature wants to throw at you, and then that's about it.
Yeah.
And I understand the severity. If
I
you're
bet
just dealing with
Galileo is like, huh.
there's no one there for her to talk to, and you're in limbo in that section.
I know, but just imagine she's just thinking with this some kind of whatever shit things are gonna get interesting.
She knows that she may be in an area that's sandstorm friendly. That was a joke.
She's like, oh boy, Darude Sandstorm. My favorite.
Dude.
Hey, no! Don't make me move from the room.
I am both expendable and expandable.
The Expandables.
Spandumables.
It's like Dig Dug, you just shove a hose up their ass and then you just start pushing down on the plunger.
So the next major event, other than obviously the lovely weather, both of you guys are having after the next 3 days afterwards, and even though they're completely fine because of the structure integrity of everything's perfectly fine, they are not able to build anything. It's because they get another severe sandstorm over there, where Gilbo is.
Wow. Enjoying those sandstorms.
Yes. And you're just having a light sprinkle.
Could you imagine? It's Darude Sandstorm, but it's multiple iterations of it just coming at you all at once. So it just feels like it's overlapping each other. But you're also hearing like the same dudes at different intervals.
and it's like blaring. Sorry, I blew that joke. And, and what's the name? There's barely enough rain where it doesn't interfere at all, so they're able to work even if it's the light sprinkles of rain. Don't you just love it when the weather is barely a problem?
Yeah, don't you love it when the weather's good?
Catbox? Yep. Don't worry, there will be a time of the year where it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Basks in
Well, not right.
superior weather.
I mean,
For right now.
no weather is good when people aren't eating themselves out of windows trying to escape it.
Yeah, but one, you all have each areas have their like problems, but he has a risk of having occasionally having hurricanes. You have a risk of having really severe deaths. Sandstorms during the dry season, also fires. Because you're in a savanna, but it's in the dry enough where sand's getting into the area. So you're dealing with an area, the region you're in is having a threat. Even though it's not affecting you guys anything other than your ability to make the structure, make the area bigger problem. Like, that's why it's best to do stuff during the time when it's classified as the wet season in a savanna. When you're a weapons fair. And on with that thing. So it managed to build some structures. Then learned that they saw a big massive storm happening, so they had to stop. I mean, that's why they had slightly a better weather report detection because even with that delay of stuff, they are also the first civilization to put something slowly that's able to circle around the planet. Yes, they have a weather satellite. Bloodjaw already. That's what the weather tower is for.
Oh boy, superiority.
Yes, they can see the weather. They can check. So they have a weather check.
And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. You didn't know the ground was gonna start shaking violently 3 days beforehand. We'll both fucking hope we ain't telling you. Not unless you pay for the subscription service to our newspaper, to our digital newspaper.
Premium weather sources, premium weather predictions.
Have to pay for the Weather Channel, man.
And it's all inundated. It's all inundated with Guild
my house.
propaganda.
For 2 copper pieces, you two can know what the weather's going to be.
And you can also look this good. For 2 copper pieces, you too might be able to look this good.
But there is some other individuals that are also moving a little quicker on technology. There's actually a second phase. That one might be a little more terrifying than the other one. Remember, you have Thessians, and some of them have memories. And so, remember them with protect interfaces there comically ones that have memory, kind of military-esque individuals. So they have a good idea what that satellite look, Josh. Yes, there might be a military satellite based on what it can. Like, and at this point, I think this gets kind of vaguely, like, essentially, like, I don't know how those,
Huh?
yeah, like, those two, like, Ilma and Dennis would know what a military a satellite is, but Alaric's not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dang it. Oh no. I guess someone know, at one of the Fessians, I guess the, Fessians put a military satellite up in space. He just casually says that.
Mm.
Oh, hey, at least we were doing. Oh god, remember it's a bit. Oh, it's even better. It's a silent piece of it. So they know what you're doing. You know, that's kind of a war crime. But they're also
Like,
the
hey, that just
largest.
makes our side smarter than Alaric's and just little tiny dog brain.
Like it, like and that's the thing. Is they actually reason why they know what it is because Ingo would have actually casually reported that, but normally on the ground they wouldn't know, but they know about it because the person that had it done made is one of the Yemi individuals got frustrated with something as that has not knowing what the hell is going on, and kind of threatened the individuals if they don't put a certain someone a certain thing threatened them that they don't put second life remember, she's also not a, a grim creeper or something, if you remember. So they kind of like, yes. This is what it feels like when you watch my death. Wait. And she just randomly makes that joke. Dennis says. But with technology, he just randomly says that to Gilbo. But don't they already do that? But now they just use it with, now we physical champions, physically opponent. Why? Lady Aya, why are you looking at us more intensely? Meanwhile, over where Alaric says, is that there means I think someone got paranoid.
What?
It's because she's I think yes. It's because she's trying to figure out because she got frustrated. And that's why she put the satellite up. Yeah, she wanted to know where her nephew was.
Who did?
I know he's alive. You know the friend of the remember she's the queen. Gloria is the queen, so it's her
Sounds like your mic's
brother's
peaking.
son. I'm sorry. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, hi. Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on? The queen of the Fessians. Remember, they are remember they have a brother.
Hmm.
Their brother or son's missing, and remember who's that? No, it's Willow. Or it's the friend of a certain sibling of yours.
Yeah.
And she got frustrated that he's been gone a little too long and decided, like, I'm building a satellite. Yes. It might be the reason why they got noticed after a while. Even if you did. So eventually she'll get frustrated, but no one's there to stop her for having it put up there. It's more to figure out where he is.
Hmm.
And so that's what Ernest. Well, I guess so. I guess Auntie got a little too upset that he was gone too long. Well, makes sense. What do you think? Remember, Thessians are very obsessive of their family, even if they're extended. You need to remember that. Anyways, Ernest randomly says that to Alarix.
Interesting.
So,
Well. Hmm.
well, she is also she is a demigod of death, though. Goddess specific.
All right.
So don't underestimate that. That's why the whole entire Thessian group is a little interesting. So, already made something that's much more advanced, and it's actually classified as something that would become considered military-esque in nature, but it's also something that would be considered not a good thing to have up there, because no one has a way to block against it right now. I bet you know what a spy is, right?
Yes, I believe.
It's a vehicle, like a machine that does the same thing, but it manages to look over the whole entire planet.
And we're letting it just stay up there?
That is a mortal-made object.
And?
Yes, but you know, that is technology. And nothing I could do about it. But sadly, I don't think I want to deal with a civilization that's over 10 trillion individuals. Would you?
No.
That's the issue. That's their problem. They're like the largest civilization. It's like pretty much they are kind of like if someone was trying to poke at poke at Russia. If you get the idea on the scale. And the second largest country is actually supposed to be Paudia, but then it follows by the Arkans themselves. Those are the three largest countries. But they're actually kind of small. If they want to do anything to be upset at them, they actually have to combine together to do something. Which they kind of do trade a lot with each other anyways, but they don't. No, I am not turning it taking on something that can turn it into a dragon that can melt my building. remember, Fessians can turn into dragons that can actually make their can melt Rosa, right?
Mm-hmm. And Gil was like, woo!
If you remember that's why, like, nope. So don't this let her have her thing. This let her have her random spot. Just does that mean I need to make a scrambler?
Well, do I want to
What about a
know?
scrambler? Gil was like, what about? Gil was like, what about a scrambler?
You know, the things that counselors spy satellites. Like, meanwhile, overword and a support. I didn't want to make one of those, but I
Why?
did
And Gil was like, why is she making satellite to spy on people?
From rumor has it, one of her nephews went missing, and they've been missing for a long fucking time.
It's been like a few months, I think. Actually,
And
they've
she
been
got
missing.
frustrated. And she's also the Pacific other of Grimjow. And Grimjow has been very busy. And she only way she could actually think about solving the issue because since we are all separate from each other, and she has no way to get assistance from it. So, well, what else would you think she will do? They'll look for
And
information.
he's like, so we have to build a scrambler. That's gonna be fun.
Yep, I know how to make one. I'll just put it on top of our tower. Anyways.
Puts the scrambler on the island where his brother is.
Meanwhile, they're
That's gonna go real well. Oh boy.
It's like, so they're like, and she's not really trying to look for anyone else. She's more focused on figuring out where her nephew is and not really care about anywhere else. If you notice that she's just quick scanning for a very particular signature. Remember, because her nephew's also a Reaper. But a Reaper that can't actually teleport off of stuff because he's not really trained. So that's why he wasn't able to teleport away. If you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because you actually have to have a Reaper item to be able to do that, Lugja. Because you can't just teleport, because you actually have to have a Reaper artifact to do that. Lugja.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You heard what I said. Right?
Yeah, I can't just teleport.
You can only teleport. A Mana Reaper can only teleport if they have an item. Their Reaper item. If that's missing, they can't teleport. So if someone lost his sock, he's not able to teleport.
Are you there, Ryan?
Or any of his objects that are classified as good. He's not able to teleport. The same thing if remember, it's Markiplier, some reason got separated from Mangle, he won't be able to teleport either.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and I have no idea where the hell I am.
Meanwhile, Mangle's like, what the fuck? Honey, where the fuck did we go? This is like, this isn't the chop shop. And why is there a cat in my arugula?
Well, back to our schedule program. Even though it's kind of part of the schedule program, but it's just somewhere in the background. Typical chaos.
Yes.
So generally, that's the one of the weird events that might be a little interesting. Too bad we don't have our certain name, because he would have been told about that too, about the spy satellite.
How many days after the letter arriving is this?
About a few, 3 days afterwards, after the, your little, um, 3 days happened after this. This is 3 days generally after the background and storm happened, but nothing happened. It was about a week ago, one day before quote unquote Eric is supposed to arrive where Gilbo is.
All right. So I guess it's on the 23rd now then.
Yeah,
Or
is when that happened. The satellite occurred,
yeah.
as well as the weather satellite was just installed as well.
All right.
A weather satellite is more useful than a fucking. Well, at least one's peaceful, the other one wasn't. Well, one's wanted to be peaceful is not meaning to be aggressive. It's looking for a certain signature. Knowing her, she'll kind of disable it after she finds someone. Knowing her.
Blow it up. That's a
Hey,
better option.
hey, you should keep the you should keep the satellite so we can broadcast porn over the entire planet. After you're done.
She repurposed it for something else, but right now she's just using it currently as a high,
Like, can you imagine that?
like a very, in other words, a high grade spy satellite.
Mhm.
So at the moment, so she can
It's
figure out.
like, imagine her using it as a high grade spy satellite, and meanwhile, Gilbert's like, when she's done with that, it'd be a great satellite to use to transmit porn everywhere.
Or we could use it to make, or we could use it to transfer phone service.
Why not both?
Mm.
We're going
What
to
about a little
create.
bit of everything?
We're going to have to recreate the porn hub.
I wonder if they're gonna, the Feskies are gonna recreate Festoon.
It'd be funny
You
if she
remember?
calls it. It'd be funny if Gilbo calls it Snarv Hub.
Hot, busty
What?
Snarvins in your
What?
area.
So at the moment, nothing big happens. In other words, Eric would be there, but he's not. In other words, you have the road over there connected to your location, but now they're just adding other. In other words, in the other subs. The reason why it was taking longer for you to build because you didn't have all of the other half of the builders you're supposed to have either. Yobo doesn't, because they're working on building that stupid road.
I'm also missing shit.
Because they can't leave at the moment till they have a full infrastructure.
Heinous.
They have. At least we can build a proper city a little bit faster because the rest of the boys are here. Ugh. Unless we get another sandstorm out of nowhere.
Another sandstorm appears.
He says. Not. That was a joke, but
Unless.
actually. Unintentionally, yes. But that's fine.
Unless it wasn't. It's just a prank, except it's not.
Hmm.
And to put old Wheeler out to pasture.
currently at this moment. So by the end of it, you got to the point to that chaos to the little town you have, and you did manage to survey your other location for the area where you want an actual location. Catbox
Yeah.
hour stood in that time, because you didn't really have that bad of weather, other during that whole time. You only have like mild sprinkles at the moment, but that's about it.
All right.
So it's very easy to survey stuff. And also, you got a good chunk of the roserite during that time, because does take a bit for them to get the resources from it. Because roserite takes a while to mine if you don't have the right stuff to mine it with.
I guess he's also gonna work on a path that goes through the mountains. Not like actually like the mountains,
Well,
like
at least
goes.
you have roserite, so you would be able to reinforce it to make it durable enough to make a tunnel go through it.
Well, not like a ton. He's not like planning on building a tunnel because they're just like big hills. So he's just gonna like
I
have
said,
a path that winds through the mountains, the hills there, to the little town he has for the collection of the
so they're actually
little fruits and stuff, the berries on the other side.
right now because they have the roserite, so it's a little easier to make roads and things right now faster, or flatten out areas enough to build install the mage crystal roads, because if they're still making them out of that, so it lasts longer. Because remember, it still is durable and has decent weather resistance, and also they can it's kind of infinite. That's why they still make it out of mage crystal, because you're limited on how much roserite you have, but you have kind of almost infinite mage crystal. Which one do you prefer to use?
I don't know. I guess
but it has the same
mage
durability as
crystals, if
infinite.
there's infinite of it, right?
Yeah, and roserite is just kind of useful if you want tools to make it easier to make room for where the mage crystal needs to go. That's pretty much what they do it, because it does work alongside it just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's light, durable, and good for tool heads. So they're actually, because getting that roserite, it actually is making things a little faster. Which they are making roads, and they actually have a few areas that they are indicating that they should make another agricultural area in where they found the harrow fruit at.
Where
It's
was
on
that?
the other side, closer to the other beach area. I have to have your map.
Let me pull it up. Let me pull the map. Okay, where?
You're right here, right?
This is where I am over here.
Here, you're here. You found the fruit areas right over here somewhere.
Oh, that's where
The
the berries.
berries
That's where
you
the
found.
berries was, right?
The harrow fruit is over in this region.
Okay, that's because that's gonna be okay. That's fine. That's gonna be a separate.
And the bananas are and the bananas are nearby you. Generally on the other side of that hill area.
All right.
That's why they're just farming them there. They're just kind of vaguely, slightly on the other side of that area. If you get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're doing that. So the areas of interest that have agriculture interests, this is the area for one. This one's another one. And the one that's on the other side of this hill area is another one.
Okay, so I was working on it. So here, where else?
And obviously that little inlet right there.
Okay. That's in the immediate area at least. Alright.
These are those berries. The bananas are generally on the other side of here, and the taro fruits over here.
Alright.
Like I said, the mineral deposits near around over near wherever that water source was.
Here.
Wait a second. Like I said, it's kind of really up over here somewhere. Like I said, he saw it just crumbled over here. Like there's some hill over here. Remember there? It was near that rock, like near the edge of the area.
Yeah, so
There's
over
where they saw
here,
it.
that's where the boat or the rock or wherever fell from.
So
Over here is where I put a little
That
mining,
they-
whatever mining's in here, coal or whatever.
yeah, that would be a good source for. Actually, that's where you would also find Loganite and the coal.
Yeah.
Or Bewe in that area. Even the coal comically would be a funny color though. For some reason it's purple. For some reason when it got compressed it down it turned purple. And then there's obviously another location. This would be another area if you want to do stuff with bananas. But you don't need that many bananas. But then there's the area over here where it's obviously the very swampy area that could be doing something. And then there's this little area here that's more like the closest area they're going to have to the mining area for the other one. Or the roserite over there. That larger river. If you know what I'm referring
Up
to.
here.
No, bottom.
Oh, this one down here.
This would be closer to that larger chunky river.
There, okay. This river
Because
delta,
there's more
whatever.
likely.
All right.
Over that position way. Is generally where another area would be. You just need some, like, several halfway points. Because they could always make a little agriculture here if they wanted to. It would be just more bananas. And also a place where they could maybe grow herbs if they want to, because they notice there's herbs in there. And also they may have found a location that contains a type of corn in that area. Because there's a type of corn that grows in trees. Which he might actually know it. And it's purple. It likes to grow on certain types of jungle trees. That seems to grow in that area. So, you actually have a source of grain. And also let you know, also in the lower areas around that area, they also might have found it's a nickname for the potato. It's called the iron potato, but it's not because it's metal. It's because it's high in iron. It's a potato high in iron.
All right.
And they seem to grow in that area as well. And on the other side, in the more swampy area, the pink sweet potato seems to grow over there. So you have quite a few different crop ideas that you can relocate around in more easier areas, but they do occur in the area, but they can grow. Remember, potatoes can grow into other locations because they're potatoes.
Yeah.
And also, you also may have, there might, that little inlet, like, area where there's, like, not really trees or anything that's closer to before you get into this area here. There might be wild black barley in this area.
All right.
There. And that's about all you have in that area. So you have quite a few crop area stuff in that area for food or resources. So this could be a good. This area could be a good another farm area because it's flat, and there's also this area that they could have something.
I have farm area marked up.
Okay, so these are separate kind areas. The other side is a little too soggy for stuff, because that's definitely a marsh area on the other side. If you know what I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
But there is stuff over there that could be useful, that could be just relocated into an area that isn't marshy. Like those pink sweet potatoes. Because they can grow in other areas, because, well, they're just over-glorified sweet potatoes. And they're just a potato. And remember, potatoes can grow
I'm
anywhere.
just a potato.
Almost anywhere, anyway.
Almost. Almost grow anywhere, and so can the other potato.
Almost, you say.
Yes, well, as it so happens, a potato cannot grow in the vacuum of space.
Has it tried yet?
Air. Yeah.
I mean, technically, you could probably grow a potato in zero gravity, but you'd have to have it upside down. Otherwise, all the dirt would just float straight out of the pot.
I mean, a potato doesn't even need dirt to grow. You know how you just leave a potato on the counter for a while
just
and it
needs-
just like grows roots, like fucking looking for dirt or some shit? Like, where's the fucking dirt? Where is it?
Well, it actually just needs nutrient-filled liquid.
Where's the motherfucking soil?
Or if
If
it's,
you remember-
or if you're in a place where gravity is reversed and everything's going up into the sky, you literally just have the pot upside down. There you go. Reverse potatoes.
Yeah, but you also can use a fluid, like solution, or a gel-like solution. Get the grow into.
Or you could use the powdered remains of your deceased fellow crew members. That also works.
Also, comically can turn into a gelatin. Even though that sounds harsh.
Hey,
If you know
hey,
that.
they're not around to help me, so they can help me, so the remains can help me in other ways, to stay alive in other ways. They'll forgive me in the next life.
So,
Wouldn't worry about that too much.
The stuff that's in that area. But there is another plant, but it's not really a food. But unless you like coffee.
not particularly.
Yeah, but you do have a plant that grows that's used for coffee in that area.
Cow beans. Caffeine.
Grows in that area somewhere. And that's about it. At least you can use that to make money. Or use it as currency. You know. It's the bean that it's the green beans. In other words, the beans that are generally used. It looks like it's a bean that lets you know it's pretty much the bean that looks like a sensu bean if it somehow was white. Lime. But it's used to make
white sensu bean.
Yeah, but it's you don't want to eat that though. Unless you want caffeine.
Yeah. It's reverse sensu bean.
It's just caffeine.
Yeah.
It's just not. Just kidding. It's just literally have the profit. It's a sissy feed if it has the property of a coffee bean, and it's white.
Yeah. Instead of like recovering off wounds and restoring your stamina, it just makes you wide awake for the next several days.
Or centuries.
That would be kind of torture, actually.
And then wake up, and then you wear off. You just go unconscious.
Yeah. You stay
Anyways.
awake for a couple centuries and
Exactly,
you
bro.
crash out for a couple centuries.
It happens to the best of us. I mean, I've been wondering where Zeus has been for the past few hundred years.
You know, Zeus was kicked out of. Remember, Zeus was kicked out of the Grawl, if you remember.
Because he kept fucking everything. Literally.
No,
Yeah.
you know who
Unfortunately,
kicked him
Zeus
out.
couldn't keep it in his pants.
Yeah, Ageless is the one that kicked him out. It's really funny. Like, the fucking asshole won't stop fucking. I'm gonna throw him out.
And then the juice my pants.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
he
so
throws him out like he's trash. Meanwhile, Kratos himself, he's like, yeeted. This just gets yeeted out by Ageless. Like someone's trash. Anyways.
Poor Kratos. Kratos needs therapy.
If he will be bad enough to take therapy.
I think old Kratos from the first trilogy of games would probably just kill his therapist, would have just avenged it and then killed his therapist, so you have to admit that he avenged it.
Matters by the therapist.
Bruno is his therapist. Now, tell me what you're angry about.
you.
Could you imagine Kratos ranting to Mr. T about how the Greek pantheon was a bunch of assholes?
To be fair, I mean, Torona went around slaying gods in his youth, so... Yeah.
But if you remember that there's a reason why the Greek pantheon's a little strange in Grawl, because one of the major dude doesn't exist.
Just looks like Kratos. Just looks like young Kratos. First time? First time for what? First time you lost your family? What? What exactly do you mean?
Yeah,
I guess that conversation. Oh man.
Anyway.
Like, I think Ageless had told us. No, I think he knows the story of that reason why Ageless threw them out, because they stole her human project. It's their buds! Pieces of shit.
I thought
also the one of the few
Zeus didn't want to make
comical-
humans.
No, he was trying to make them the way he wants to, like, he wanted to control them.
For entertainment
Yes.
and pleasure.
And it ruined, that sort of stuff. And it ruined them.
I mean,
and
I don't
during that
blame you. Have you
time,
seen
it
human
might be
women?
one of the reasons. Yeah, but during that sort of situation, it might be one of the first time it also was during the phase where Angels was having issues with their abilities at the time, where it might be the first time Angelus accidentally may have kicked something into actually Mr. T's void once. a planet.
Passing him into the void.
That's he's like casually. Maybe that's why how he got a blank slate for a planet. He's like,
Perhaps.
he's like he just hanging out this planet. It's like acid.
So,
You guys can continue on.
Alrix will probably spend some free time trying to flirt with Nazetta.
Hinoki.
You know, win her over, even though she was probably already won over a long time ago.
Awkward Riz. It was highly effective.
It's the Riz already worked 10 years ago. The Riz worked even though he wasn't even trying to Riz.
At least we have an indoor side, right? All right. You might need to have that rest inside. He just says mentally too. What's his face?
What?
It's if you're hanging out with her having dinner,
Yeah,
he'll be on the porch.
on the porch.
He's like, he points out there's like somewhere, and he just points out, like, it hits to the left. Too. There's a nasty storm coming our way.
It's like, la 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 la, I gotta kiss the girl.
You just like politely tell him like you might need to take that activity inside, unless you wanted it ruined by Mother Nature by being soaking wet.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by took it inside, Ernest? What are you trying to say?
It starts to hear a loud thunder, a thunder all of a sudden.
Let's go inside, Nazetta. It's starting to storm.
He's like that. This happened because it's getting nearer the end of the quote unquote. Because remember, the months in this planet are a little days are a little shorter
Mm-hmm.
because it's more closer to Earth. This has happened to be a little bit more stormier than normal today. And now it's about 3-ish days later.
Oh, 3-ish days.
What now?
Yeah.
Later. Then a large, like a monsoon, rainstorm is coming.
So still in the first month.
But you know, so unless you know that rain is gonna last for 3 as in the monsoon. And your starting location is now about the size of quote unquote a small to almost medium-ish sized city. And you do have the next starting location is starting to get built. The actual capital.
Yeah.
At this point, which is more likely where you are at the moment. Because they managed to get you a structure over there already. First, as the centerpiece, is what they did. And they're just building around away from there. Is what they're doing. So they do have the quote-unquote town. The quote-unquote village there is what has got started. Start of the capital state, if you remember.
Yes.
So that's what you guys have, but the original place is actually the size of almost a medium city. And the other location in there, you also do have multiple small villages in the secondary. You also have a secondary town where the farming one is with the berries, because that was the first. That was the secondary town you ever settled, if you remembered.
The town to the north. Down to
Where
the
the
north was the
berries were.
second one founded.
You mean the one by the?
The one that
Uh,
has the
You
berries
mean the
and
mining
stuff.
one?
The berries one.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what it's
Then the
referred. That's what I
mining
said. The
one.
berry ones is the second. And then followed by, I guess this of the fourth. The one would be the other mining one.
The one over
Eventually.
the mountains.
Yeah, because they needed it over something over there because, well, because the roads are right there.
Mhm.
And then there's then obviously the other farming areas slowly trickled in. They're around the same size as I think this location is. They're all the same size. And also scouting out the new location you have required, as well as the islands. Working on an area to make a dock somewhere, and he's on the other side. What the one with that river inlet, or make it a little dock over there so it's easier to make a boat on the other
Alright.
side and a dock on their side as well. You never know. So they can explore past the area they're at. That's what they're doing. So they're already working on trying to do things with boats. You can't just live off of fruit, even though harrow fruit kind of has all the nutrition under the sun inside of a fruit. But some people are getting tired of just eating fruit, so people are working on trying to making a fishery thingy in one of the areas nearby on the little inlet somewhere. So right now they're doing things that they could with some places. And also some people are already domesticated something that wandered into the area. So they do have a source of need. Even though I don't think it's the Aptonoth, what is that parasaur creature from Monster Hunter.
Ah.
Mudgull will know what
Nice.
I'm
Cool.
Yeah, so they have a source of need. Like creatures. And then I also have a few, and then you have also a creature that's very well known and common, and it's called a hunfowl, and they're usually used raised like chickens, if you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
We found some wild one of those. So you guys have eggs. Well, but remember that creature doesn't taste like chicken; it tastes like beef, but has the texture of chicken. If you wanted to know. But the other one tastes like pork. If you want to know, the one parasaur creature, the dinosaur creature that we have required, and that's about all I can think that they have gotten in the area that's interesting. And they also found a creature, a type of bug that they could use to make silver dye. As well as
Silver
green
dye?
dye, and yes, the silver, the elemental beetles that those are actually well known throughout where he came from. They're usually used for making dye. They found silver ones, and so people are just raising them to. As they find the beetles, they're just kind of casually making little areas to just raise them for for dye. From so far, the only one colors they have required so far, they have brown, they have green, silver, and they have orange. Is the only colors they have. Orange is fire, if you wanted to know. Only reason why they found that because they found a fire beetle, and it kind of made a mess because it laid eggs on a tree nearby. But what it does, it turns that wood into charcoal. So it kind of makes a byproduct, which is kind of useful if you think about it for a minute.
Yeah, so we're
The
heading
charcoal's still useful for something.
into the
Still
monsoon
useful.
season, right?
Yep. Or
Alright.
generally where it happens in the area.
Yeah.
Which it. Or also have a chance to have other weather events that might be a little bit unpleasant. Or a small chance of them. Just hope it's just rain on occasions, but not the monsoon. But... Well, on your side, you have a higher chance to get that. The other side is more likely getting this normal rain on the other side.
No more sandstorms? for
Or
them?
on the other side of the hills.
Oh, just
On the other
monsoon.
hand, they're finally actually
Monsoon for
for
us,
you,
rainstorms
and
are for them.
typical normal rainstorms over there. As in for Gilbo.
Okay.
If Lugja's still there. Lugja. I can't read. Can you try to get his attention? I'm not yelling for him.
Gilbo? Lugjaw? Hello?
My boy.
Because remember, I'm
Guess
at my
he's just not
mom's.
there.
Because I'm at my
I
mom's. Remember?
tried.
I tried as well.
Because if I'm trying to get his attention, I'm not yelling for him. Remember, I'm at my mother's.
Yeah.
So generally, they would be having their rainy season over there as well. So. And generally, everything also got knowledge by now. Also, the quote unquote spy satellite has been converted into a communication satellite. He would also got that information from Ernest, but sadly, we have no way to utilize it.
Does that mean they found what they're looking for?
Well, we don't know what's going on in the background with that, because it's just up to you if you want to roleplay your character. What the hell are you doing?
What
He has
or
the
what Leewin's doing?
Leewin's doing?
Well, considering he's not that far away, he's probably not having a very good time during this season. This also might be actually about maybe next season, because this season is probably about wet season. Then next season would be the warm wet, which would be the perfect time for hurricanes. So we're heading into hurricane season. That means
He's in an area where he's in a worse location. He's in a subtropical, means he has a risk of it being actually colder.
ah,
Because remember, he's further north
mhm.
than you.
So
he's in the area that
he's
would
also
be
on an
considered-
island that Alrix actually owns, right?
No,
No.
he's in an area where the Thessians own it, and it's
Okay.
further up north. Where it's more closer to the more colder area. So he's high in an area that would be classified more closer to what you would call England.
All right.
If I did some calculation, I double checked on the islands, and I just realized, wait, no, he's in that area. He would be in an area where if it's wet season in that area, in the upper air, he would be going on the point where it's going to be winter. Or trying to get, you are going into your, kind of going into your spring. They're going into the spring as well, but their spring might be a little bit more nastier up there in the more northern areas versus what you're having.
Why would it be colder in the spring?
It's the first few days of spring.
So it's still a little cold.
If you think about it, because remember, if
Yeah.
it's the beginning
Well,
of the month,
he is in a
it's more
subtropical
bigger.
area, so it would be a little bit warmer. So he's not.
Yeah.
So
But if
he's
like,
actually
if
in
he
where
was much,
Florida would be. Alex is more like
yeah.
in Brazil or Hawaii.
Mhm.
Living La Viva Loca down here.
Fine. But at the moment, at least they have been found, but it's just right now they're just getting resources to actually make a location over there. At least he's not good at. There's a positive thing, but like that, I don't annoyed him. It's up to, what do you think he would have actually done in the situation? Would he go back to where whatever the heck is going on where Chaos told them where they were? But would he actually go, or would he just stay where he is?
No, it
If he,
depends.
after being found, he went.
Yeah, it depends what happened during the couple of months. He might go back. Probably would go back, honestly.
Yeah, but his friend, on the other hand, is like, you're, they kind of divided heavily over there. And I think your father might more likely thinks you're dead. That line.
Well, what better way to go back than and inform him I'm still alive?
Want me to come along or not?
I believe
I'm the one that kept you alive.
Well, I believe your aunt would want to see you.
Uh,
Also, need
Yeah,
to bring back the remaining of the servants. Because I believe at this point, then, a couple of them did not make it. Yeah, a couple of the servants did not make it. Um... I'm gonna roll.
remember, they're in this.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll something. Let me see.
They had resources, remember? Did you forget? That was given to them.
Yeah.
For a small group
But I'm
of them.
saying from before that, when they were trapped in the cave, trapped wherever they were trapped, they didn't make it through that.
Yeah.
So if it's an odd, it will be one of the Scooby-Doo named servants. But if not, then it'll be just another servant. Not sure that I rolled. I accidentally rolled.
A female individual.
Yeah. Well, still whatever. 9. That's odd. I was meant to roll a d6, but just a singular d6, but whatever. Yeah, one of them did not make it. So I'm gonna roll. I guess I'll roll.
The female individuals, just only the females would have been affected by that.
Oh, only the female individuals.
Yeah, remember that individual was kidnapping women.
Oh, okay. Well, they were with the ones that were with. I'm also including the ones that were with Lewin at the time, which the Scooby named ones were with him at the time. So I'm assuming they were taken
Yeah,
along with him.
they weren't there. No, they weren't kidnapped. When that happened, they were given to him after they were moved. Only one that would have been female during the time of kidnapping would have been one of them.
Why was Lewin there then?
Because that's where they were moved to when they were moved to the
No,
planet.
Originally, like, because you said that Lewin was in the same spot back on Horus, in the same spot of the other maids.
Yes, but that's the women were the only ones who were taken. Only the women were affected. The ones that can get pregnant were affected.
Not currently, but
No individual.
Lewin
Yeah.
was with them in wherever they were.
Yes.
That's why he was missing.
And-
Why was he
oh.
there with them?
Because he was grabbed because he was trying to figure out why they're missing, then he got captured.
Hmm. He did have a few.
Because he was trying to solve
he
the
did have a
mystery.
few maids with him as well.
Yeah, but only ones that would have physically got anything wrong with them during that situation that would have on stress or physical health issues would be only the women.
All right. Well, I guess there goes Daphne then. Sorry, Daphne
Yeah.
fans. Daphne's dead.
Sadly. Mm,
Daphne is no more.
yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Because he would have required the guys afterwards.
Mhm. Well, I guess if Lewin was nabbed, but not any of the male mates he had with him, then I guess Sebastian has probably gone on a murder spree looking for him ever since he went missing. Bit of a, doom moment looking for everyone connected with it.
And I
Because he
understand why the
is fiercely
like, why-
protective.
And maybe that's why he finally decided to go look for the queen in that one point or something like that.
It's like, I guess I'm left for no other
Really?
option.
That's maybe why they have the satellite made because of that reason too.
So, yeah, Lewin will basically just take the remains of. Well, I guess at this point it would just be bones because it's been so long.
A fancy box and a fancy box.
Yeah, but basically at this point they basically would have cremated them in the time that they were stuck there. So take the cremated remains of Daphne and the rest of the maids.
Thanks to a certain somebody would work. Well, the one that a certain wife of somebody. More likely put them in a box, a
Mhm.
decorative box or something. When they found what's her face? Oh, yeah. Oh, they're her uncle. If you remember,
Oh yeah.
on that weird island.
That's gonna be a weird thing to
So,
play out.
so it's me in a decorative.
Because it's been like 2 years, 2.5 years since he went missing.
A lot of unpleasant happened during that time. At
Well-
least he has a lot of. I guess Lewin learned had a lot of hard life lessons during that situation.
Yeah, he is. Lewin is a bit traumatized. After that whole situation.
That's why he kind of, and also a lot more attached to, I guess, his friend too. He was before. I've done this. Does it change his sexual life?
Huh?
Sexual? No.
I had to make that. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Unless he has, like, the charm of, like, a god.
Say that again?
Well, he is a reaper, but I don't know that counts.
He has to be, like,
Mm.
he has to be, like, on the level of Ernest to like, above the level of Ernest to swim. In any way.
Even
Above. Well,
though what's his name is even unintentionally, out of all of the children that is him, Willow is a fanboy.
Is what?
One of my only fanboy Vessians.
Mm,
Even though they
I'm
are
always
an Elherethite.
Yeah.
But it don't matter. What's his name? Wouldn't actually flirted with him during that time at all. He's more likely just tried to. He has actually been there for the whole fucking time.
he's like, hey, bro, you wanna. It's like, no, bro. No, mate.
Like, absolutely. But he actually respected it the whole entire time. He's just felt like he needed a hug, but he wouldn't give him one. You look like are you sure you don't need one?
I'm sure.
Mm.
I hear that Saiyan Enigma, Super Saiyan 3 Gohan theme in the background.
The random crap. The stuff. Like the random, like Vietnam flashback. Anyways. The island. Anyways. Just don't mention anything about the island. Anyone?
So he was found. So he was found then.
He could be very traumatized though.
Well,
I have also terrible noise. He lost staff.
well, us Steph.
Yes. Mm,
And who was it, perchance?
Daphne.
Ah. Yes. How unfortunate. I
And your brother might be very traumatized from his experience.
should probably inform Scooby and Thelma then. I'm sure they would like to know.
Well, at the moment,
I guess he'll
has been there the whole
go
time.
looking for them because I don't think Alex really has an official place. I mean, he hasn't really built an official place. He's just basically technically been living out in his tower.
I think they have a location and kind of have a structure, but it's in the works of being made.
Yeah,
The
this
new
would only
location
be
where
temporary
that-
anyways because we want to be staying there for long. He would have plans to live in the capital. I guess it'll be like just a place he'd stay while he's here.
They do have the capital spot starting to be made. It's
Mhm.
just they do have the structure for the center building, but they don't have everything else there. So that they're waiting till there's more infrastructure over there, or I guess he'll move before he moves over there.
I guess he'll go gather, because Nezeta is also related to her, because those are Nezeta's cousins. So he'll go gather and inform them of what happened.
We'll get them, have them make a memorial wall. Anyways, we're over here. Anyways,
Nezeta, Scooby,
plaque, if you want me to do that.
do what?
You heard what Ernest said. He was like, "Want me to prepare the part of the memorial wall
Sure, yes. You can prepare
over for our side."
That
a memorial.
Why do I imagine Fred is just gonna go on his demon arc?
You can't. That's his sister. I mean, I guess, you know. He really likes his sister.
In this sort of situation.
I feel bad for Fred. I
Nice.
knew they were really, really close.
Well, he starts preparing a location, like, because they have these special plaque-like things. It's kind of like a traditional thing for like the popping spheres, where if they don't have like a body, they make a special like plaque and a thing with the picture and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
guess
put it on the wall.
There's gonna be a little burial
Something.
or a thing. I should probably put that somewhere on the map. I'm working on the city map right now for Socks. But at least in its
It
current
would
state.
be. It looks like it. Yeah, it would be what it would be. It would be like kind of part of a church, I guess, unintentionally connected to what's his face, but connected to fucking chaos. But also, remember,
Oh,
I'm also
there is a
connected to
church.
family.
So it's going right behind the church.
Because remember, he is connected to family too. He's not
Mhm.
just connected to fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Family.
Which is actually what the church
'Cause he
is.
is
The
connected-
church is to Ernest.
Yeah, because he's connected to chaos. Is connected to chaos, but he is also a god connected to family. Ironically enough. So he's not just chaos, if you get the idea. People keep on forgetting he's connected to family too. But family is chaos.
Can
He
be.
just makes that joke.
Oh, it definitely can be.
Yeah, I put
And also
a little,
family
I put
can
a
also
little
have
thing in the back
consequences.
that will represent as the little memorial areas.
Like thing. It's just where it is.
Yeah.
It would be this fancy like marbly looking wall thing.
I have it
That's
like inside the
protected by
structure
some
at the back of the church.
that has like kind of like what are those? It would be like kind of like a crypt light type thing, but not. But it's like a building. I can't remember what they're all. You know those like wall things that would normally have a little slot where they put ashes in
Mm-hmm.
that has a nameplate on them. It's literally that. Except they don't have ashes. They'll just have a plate with a decorative picture on that's protected under something they would with mage crystal, clear mage crystal on it, so it's protected. Well, underneath, so the picture will never deteriorate. If you get the
Alright.
idea. And with the name underneath it, how long they had lived and when they died. And that's about it.
Yep. Daphne.
You know those sort of things.
Was Daphne Oliver.
Sort of stuff. And how long she's been, how old she was, and all that sort of thing. Remember how long they lived.
Yeah, it was only like 20.
And that's about it.
Died pretty young for a Birkin.
Only that, yeah, but one positive thing. One thing about it, I really, even though this is hard, well, I know horrible, but one positive thing about Arkans. We reincarnate. But this is still stupid. Anyways. Neff is still dumb. Anyways. Not himself, but the concept of related of dying. Anyways.
I can definitely relate. Came a mysterious voice out of nowhere.
This is just... hmm. The
Yeah,
areas
so-
O'Hare had made little spots or little with candles that you can put here in that place where you can put a little wreath. Anyways.
Yeah. I think also Lewin's gonna partly blame himself for what happened with Daphne. Because he's like, he didn't get there soon enough. By the time he got there... Well, no. He'll probably blame himself because she was with him when they were looking for the maid. So you blame him because he brought her along with them. So it's like, I caused this. Survivor's guilt, I guess. They call it.
That would be the technical term for it, yes.
So... It would be... I guess it'll be the 29th he was found. The Queen of what was it? Podlida? The Podling Spears?
Fessian. Like, generally there's like, well, or figured out what was going on. And at least they solved the issue as best as they can. They could have done this faster if someone would have looked at her. But no.
They also would have found them faster. Valrix actually got around to looking for them.
Yes, because they had a lot of weird shit going on, and a lot more weird shit going on. It's actually all because of somebody who's meanwhile Exodus is sitting in a corner. Anyways, but yes. Yeah. At least, I guess, have to go pick him up from. Guess we have to go pick them up. Anyways. Anyways, with what? We don't have boats. We have boats. Okay. I guess we have to airlift them. They don't mind riding in a pouch. Yes, Fessians have pouches. But they can turn into a giant dragon form, and that pouch is bigger. It's like, but they don't mind riding in a pouch. Unintentionally, I guess, unintentionally for ally reasons why his family would have an ally with the Fessians because of that reason alone. It would have to. Or the queen will actually eat them. Not literally, but you get my name wrong. Cat blocks.
Yes. Dealing with the dragon.
Have fun with the dragon. The angry female dragon. I could turn you into pudding by this breathing breath ability on you. It's because she doesn't have, yeah, she has a mystic fire, but she has a very rare version of it. Is Lugia still gone?
He's
I
here and
guess so.
there sometimes.
Yeah, but the fire I was referring, because there's green fire and blue fire. Remember, she's a Reaper individual. She has black fire. So she has a necrotic mystic fire. So it's even worse than the other two. So she'll burn you. She'll also make you rot to nothing. That's what I meant by pudding. Turns you into a decaying matter. Pretty much rotting fire. Ugh. She was like, I guess the two of them are getting, that little group is getting airlifted because they have no other ways to get them picked up at the moment. Which I don't think it didn't take them very long to get to there and solve the little issue. And what would Lewin do after that point, other than I exist. So because of this issue, I think we should fix the
Guess he would whoa. Oh, I don't know what he would do. It was like, well, because he has no. I don't think admittedly anyone knows where his father is. Maybe except for, I guess, like the town he's working on and its surrounding areas. But other than that,
yeah.
it's like, well, I don't know where my father is, or my family, or even my brother.
I'll figure out. I don't know. I can figure out what generally. I think I have an idea where your brother is, but I'd rather just leave him be.
That's why I sent you the map.
I'll upload that later.
I think it's at good quality.
So at the moment, we're just dealing
Yeah,
with
there you
different stuff. Is that the new town you're making
Yeah,
at the moment?
that
I'll worry about
sucks.
that later.
That's where we are right. That's where he is right now.
So at the moment, right now, they're just dealing with that stuff in the background. So she's picking them up, and she has no idea where to put them. I know where they are, but I don't know exactly what's going on over there in the region that's supposed to be Arcadia. She would actually slag the messenger that's meant to come pick them up, along with the quote-unquote Sebastian is with them.
Is there
So they have no idea what's going on in
is
Arcadia.
there something going on in Arcadia?
Remember, we were moved.
No. Yes, I didn't. Hmm. You also brought my uncle, right? I found my
where-
uncle there.
Yeah. But you could just go. Do you want to go back where they are, or do you want us to move these individuals to somewhere else? I know I have a good idea where someone is, but I
I think
don't
we
want
should
to go to
go.
that location because
I think we should go home. Father
see.
wanted to see uncle.
Yeah, but I don't know if he wants to leave. Meanwhile, him in this city, I beat him, and he needs a lot
Yeah,
of
turns around. It's like, stop.
oh no. No, I have to pull out the boat.
Uncle, you are needed. I think he would go. He would realize, like,
For
he's been away for a while, and
he wanted to pack our things. Only could have remembers his wife in the
yes,
troller.
yes.
I guess she'll just work on doing that.
Yeah, he has to stand up,
not
but like
very much.
stumbles a bit because he was like, he probably had this is probably like his 5th pina colada that day.
GIF or the meme of that dude who's walking out of a trailer with a vodka in his hand and he just stumbles down the steps.
It's exactly like that.
Basically like that.
It's exactly that.
And he's like in well, even though it's plain Hawaiian, it's a style of Hawaiian shirt without the Hawaiian pattern. It's pretty much what he's wearing, and maybe some worn out shorts.
Yeah.
Pretty much wearing, and a straw sun hat on.
There is someone I need to find though. Before being transported here, I was with my maid. Well, I have no idea where she would be now.
I remember she was like, the boat was fine. Then she went back out of character afterwards. Lore-wise. She went down with them, then he disappeared
Yeah, she went down with him.
magically.
And then he charged ahead. And then he vanished.
And magically.
And
And
then,
then she panicked.
yeah, and then I think
And she went
got
back.
Yeah, stuck. Did she go back?
Yeah, she went back. She's fine.
Oh, I thought she was
She
missing
went back
too.
though. No, she didn't went missing.
No.
She's the one that reported that he disappeared.
Well, it was his. It was his. Well, his family reported him missing because he never returned. It was like he just vanished. Like there was
Well-
no reports of him disappearing. That's how I remember. That's how I
Or
remember.
someone,
That's how I remember setting up.
Or
Is
the
he just
s-
disappeared with his maid. Him and his maid both disappeared.
well, only thing the maid could have tried to return, then something happened to her on the way back from out on sea.
Yeah, I mean she's fine.
Which-
She just never was able to return for some reason.
She maybe could be she could be anywhere.
Yeah, basically.
She could be anywhere. I have a good idea where she could have been at. She could be on one of the other, one of the smaller islands that used to belong to the Fessians or something. That's where she was at or something. You know, where she could be in the Fessian kingdom somewhere.
All right.
Couldn't figure out how they, because remember the closest island, well, so she was in that area, but remember they were on the edge of one of the the continent that belonged to the far that's part of Farrun at the time when they went missing. And Farrun is also one of the areas that belong to Thessians, if you remember. One of the areas where they reside at.
All right.
And more likely, if she went looking for thinking he disappeared and went to go look around on land, instead of using the boat, she would more likely went there. And then someone went to try to send messages, but was having difficulty sending messages because people are afraid of going too far run problem. Or messages that have a hard time being transferred between far run and to other locations problems. Which is a general issue. So she was fine the whole entire time, and she's maybe just been there. In other words, where the subspecies of Thessian known as weavers would reside at. In other words, the species of Thessian that has 3 sets of wings.
All right.
So
I guess one thing now Alex will do is like, I guess officially try to get with Nazetta.
No.
like most of things seem to be mostly fine.
Yeah, that town all the way up in the Rocky Mountains area, that is a very isolated right now.
Kelly, you made a little location in between there. Like I said, there's an area that's perfect for for another type of farm type, if you don't mind growing barley and potatoes and the special corn. Because that's a good spot for those 3 things. It's that little peninsula before the mountains at the bottom. Like a grassy area. It's where the barley is. The wild barley is. But,
Alright, so I guess there's like 3 little regions now. I guess little Duxies or whatever. Mhm. Mhm.
Also, I think I'm getting EP.
Alright.
You're getting a little EP too.
Um. Yeah. Well, I guess this would be a good point ender or something.
Yep.
Unless Ernest or someone wants, because they got interrupted like a month ago, you know.
I'm not excited, but he'll be fine. Even though they more or less actually did something. Anyways, he's just sitting there like, young with strides. Well, I need to fucking destroy everything. But he doesn't. Remember, you did do activity,
Mm-hmm.
and, well, fertility is very, not annoying.
Yeah. How does Nazetta take Ernest's no? How does Nazetta take Alrix's advances?
She's doing, I think she already kind of knew about them already. She's kind of, they hadn't had time to talk to do anything. I guess it's because everything keeps on getting interrupted.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Ernest's like, Garrett, Shad, you better go inside before you get drenched. You know that line, because that was funny.
Because Alrix wants to make Nazetta, like, I guess, if Alrix is the king of this place, then I guess he would make Nazetta the queen, I guess.
He's just chilling. Like, Ernest on the other hand is just making sure everything's the way it should be. It's just like everything. Typical social choices of chaos. Okay. Fair enough. Wait, but it's almost related to. Anyways.
It's almost like you're jealous.
Mm. I'm a
Are you
divine.
jealous?
A divine shouldn't really be a king. Like somebody I know. Anyways.
God King.
Though I humbly he has been king for a long time, and that would be Brimjaw. Anyways. Remember, he's the Pacific third, but he isn't the one that's actually the visual person of the festival. That would be actually Glorium. Or his wife. There was the actual god of death. Is actually quote unquote the king of actually the Hessians. Which is funny. That's why, like,
Ooh.
that's why they don't. That's why people don't are afraid to mess with the Thessians, not because of her, because of the other person.
So I take my complaints to them.
That's why if they said if you think, because if you did actually, if you classify also officially make two or the end of the they're more likely treated because they're more likely created that isn't visually the face. It's the thing behind the face. If you get the idea. Or it's the god. Even though Ernest, half the people do know you do have a relationship with us. And quote unquote, you are also quote unquote a champion of this kingdom.
How many people know about what now?
Well, Ernest your Ernest is a champion.
Hmm.
Everyone knows that. But also being in a casual relationship with her, that is slowly spreading very quickly.
Oh wait, so the news of like them doing whatever is spreading. Like, yeah, he's a champion, but he's also a little bit more.
Yes, yeah. So that is
Fine.
so no, that's the thing. Don't worry, and they also the rumor of other things that is no actually no what's the thing about anything if anyone else actually has randomly did something that is like I guess they don't think it's a weird thing. That one right because Veer is a curse to not able to have normal children
Hmm.
like 50% of the time if you remember. Like, would you be lucky to get a normal child? Nope. You got a dog.
Dog.
Which is funny. Okay. Veer's curse. He's like, why did I never get to have normal children? 50% of the time they're not actually a person. Anyways, local animal. Anyways, Veer's. And I think most mortals, most clerics and paladins that are connected to him know that. Or any religious individuals that study about him know that. And also, he's one of the major. He's also the head of that pantheon of the of the pantheon. So he's kind of well known.
Hmm.
He's not the he's not the he's not the bottom of the totem pole. He's like the guy. He's pretty much the same level. They know.
Who's not at the bottom?
No. They very much are literally. It's like Exodus level knowledge of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, the only one that's least known of the divines in both of them uh is actually is the god of travel from his side and the god of adventure from the other one.
All right.
Are the two individuals that are less known. And also the only another pantheon. Then there's the Fire Angelus' Fire Pantheon. Nobody knows about it other than she exists, and they don't know who's connected. Other than there's like so that's why they think Angel is a solo divine, but they don't realize she's disconnected to Angelus. Is because she was originally supposed to be was going to be the pantheon that's in charge of the location, but someone was funky. If you're going to be paid the axe, I'm going to go take a nap. Bye. That's literally what she did about it at the time. So fuck this shit. I'm going to go take a nap. You want to be a child? Go ahead. You know you're going to have repercussions about this later.
You're in deep trouble, young man.
It's not going to be by me. It's going to be karma. Anyways. Yes, the typical issue that even though Ageless could have done something right there physically, she was definitely stronger than Exodus at the time. Like, nah. I'll let Karma do something instead. I want to see how long that'll take. Ah, there it goes. I can play there, you still better.
I'm still here.
The reason why she knows that this did it, he's not going to a different planet with his pantheon. Yes.
Hold on, I kind of have to turn you up a little bit. You're kind of quiet.
I'm trying to be. It's because I remember I'm at my mom's at a certain time. Angelus was originally supposed to be the Angelus' pantheon and the Cloudmonster pantheon were the only pantheons on Taurus. But some reason Exodus wanted to stay, even though but though Angelus felt this place would be too crowded with pantheons. And so like, you're gonna be a pain in my typical teenager. I'm gonna go take a nap and see how long you know. If something really goes wrong,
I think I understood like half of what you said.
no, you're either Angelus had issues with Exodus not wanting to listen. Yes, the Saiyan did not want to when he was 16.
Go figure.
You know, the one that has the ability to create wishes
Yeah.
at the time. He actually learned he knows that he's screwed, but he could undo it. Because it's like, well, if I fix it now, it's going to ruin relationship with several organizations. Uh-huh. I'm not going to do anything. It's like, nope, I'm not fixing it. This is your problem. Like, cause that's why, because only they were able to do anything because but they were not strong enough to keep the planet together. That's why Horus winds up falling apart and becoming smaller, lore-wise. If there were no player influence, normally the planet would, because the first thing, the two brothers get into a conflict where one gets thinking he's not being noticed of his efforts because it's because the two goobers are getting worked too hard on what they're not understanding because of the stress of being overworked. One is trying to keep the planet from being pulled apart from one of the moons. The other one is trying to keep the stabilization of all of these different civilizations. Which this planet has had, I think about, if I think about it, calculated for a bit. Other than and this includes subspecies. If I about maybe 450 different factions. And that's are the ones that are more advanced factions. Those are the so advanced, or those are the more largest. Actually, this way more. They're more than that. If I think about it, I think there's over several, over 2,000 factions actually that are different things. But there are also some species that don't exist anymore. Because there used to be if you consider a type of anthropomorphic bird, they don't exist anymore except 5. There's a lot of species that don't exist now because of the lack of because there was too many civilizations fighting over resources. And not enough individuals to keep it stabilized.
Oh god.
That was
I'm gonna